better. I'm gonna rest my hand so that y'all are not so y'all ain't suffering. And I'm gonna make sure that y'all can hear me. Okay. So the title of this video is Why Did You Lie? I love the title that I came up with for this video because you guys, check this out. That's going to be one of the questions in July. This video is all about July, okay? July 2023, okay? And one of the questions across the board, whether it's a romantic situation or a business partnership or even a platonic situation, is why did you lie? Right? And for the most part, we know why people lie at the very basis is because they're afraid and they don't want to admit or accept it. That's fear that's driving that. And maybe the situation was beneficial for whatever reason. But once they get on or once they feel some kind of stability, that's when they start doing what they would rather be doing with who they would rather be doing it with. Okay? In places that they would rather be. And hence the question, why did you lie? All right, let me tell y'all why July even has this theme. It's because the beautiful planet of love and money is going retrograde in July. Okay? And it's going to be just like any other retrograde. Oh, hold up, back up, hold on, there's a discrepancy. Let's go check some things. Okay, see, quality assurance, when a planet is going forward, quality assurance is, kind of slacking. Oh, but when a planet goes retrograde, all that love bombing, all that hoping, all of that focus on potential goes out the window. It's like, let me check these receipts. Let me check this. Let me check that. And again, people let stuff slide. Again, I'm talking about all areas of life, not just romance. If you have been dealing with somebody that has been consistently disappointing you, and you have been in a cycle of being disappointed and then forgiving and then accepting, this Venus retrograde is not going to be forgiving or accepting. It's going to force you to put your foot down. It's going to force you to not stay in that cycle of being played. And it's not going to be like, oh, Venus is coming in and saving the day, standing up for the underdog or whatever. No, Venus is not doing this for you. Venus is doing this through you because you've also got a lesson in, sticking to your boundaries, not being desperate, doing your research, making sure you know what you want and you have some kind of idea of how you're supposed to get it. Because we got so many scenarios, okay? For those of you who may have used the professional services, contracted out, collaborated with somebody, but you didn't draw up a contract. You didn't set no parameters. You didn't study what you were trying to do, even though you weren't the main person that was doing it. You just left it to that person. For those of you who just threw money at people and was like, get this done, and you didn't even bother to do any research about what it is that you wanted for them to get done, you about to learn now. You about to learn everything you need to learn because you end up having to do it yourself. Okay? This is just how it is. Okay? Venus is dishing out all the lessons. Okay? Like the type of lessons the type of lessons that Venus is dishing out, you guys, is literally not your mama. It's not like your mama, right? And y'all forgive me about this camera because I'm holding my phone. It's not like when you get in trouble with your mom and you get that 4-hour lecture or blah, 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 blah. Your mom still to a certain extent is still trying to save you or protect you in some kind of way. Now, this is when you get in trouble with your auntie. Venus is the auntie. She ain't got no loyalty to you. She wants you to feel this, okay? She ain't connected to you like that. So she ready. You need me to call life. I'm calling life. You can't even stop me. I'm about to call life on you because you got me messed up. I don't give chances. That's what Venus is doing. All kinds of life is about to happen in July. Okay? And what's so crazy, here's the deal. The majority of the reason why people are going to be asking the question, why did you lie? Right? Is because they honestly, they were in situations where they did not have to lie to kick it, but they did it anyway because, again, low self-esteem, low confidence, blah, blah, blah. Programming, thinking that they had to operate a certain way in order to get what they want, even though they were getting what they wanted. And they messed it up. July is going to be the epitome of, y'all remember that R. Kelly series, Trapped in the Closet? This is not going to be a thing where there's one isolated situation in your life or one isolated situation in the collective. Okay, so on the micro and macro, this is what it's going to look like. You find out, because you always find out, right? So you find out, you feel some kind of way, you wondering, you backtracking, you analyzing, but in the middle of that, you find out something else. And this time, that something else involves somebody else. And you really wondering and backtracking and analyzing. And now you having conversations. And then that person is giving you even more new information you did not have. And you're like, how far does this go? How deep is this situation? How many more people are involved? So these are not simple little, oh, you lied about this one incident, this one thing. No, it's like a Russian nesting doll. It's like there are going to be some memes that are going to be, they're going to need to win awards for the memes that you see in July. Shady, side-eyeing people gonna be on the internet telling you, strangers, about them, whoever lied. Okay? Like, the petty is going to be potent. Okay? It's going to be a lot. There is not going to be any chill. There's not going to be any restraint. It's because of the fact of the Russian nesting doll thing. It wasn't a simple lie where you can keep your composure. It's like way too much, and you're like, F this. In normal circumstances, I would be cordial, but I don't even know what cordial mean right now. I'm about to put this person on blast, blah, blah, blah. Like, July is going to be too hot in the kitchen, okay? There's going to be a whole bunch of you owe me because I sat here and let you play me. So now you owe me, because people are not going to want to own up to going against their energy and not having healthy boundaries. No, I sat here and allowed this, but you're not finna get away with this. You owe me. I will take everything. Okay? Because they're going to be so upset. And this, again, think about it on a collective scale. Think about countries doing this to each other. You owe me because you lied to me, and now I'm finna take everything. Play with me. You gonna see it. You gonna see it. It is literally, I don't even want to say it's a woman scorn, because there's this big theme that Venus is trying to get people to take responsibility for their part too, whether they were victimized or not. There's no mercy on either side. Okay? No mercy on either side of this. My best advice to people who are thinking right now, okay, with all this, is that how can I stay safe? How can I stay out of it? How can I not have the worst? How can I not be that person, right? Check your integrity. And then also, don't leave yourself out when you do find out information. You allowed it. Some kind of way you allowed it. Okay? And the best way to get through this energy, if you find yourself in a situation where you felt like you got scammed, betrayed, lied to, let down, whatever the case may be, is to acknowledge, yeah, that happened. Acknowledge whatever responsibility you had in allowing the situation, whatever naivety, whatever. Be honest with yourself and detach from that situation. Now that you have the new information, be done with it. Go to town detaching from that situation. Because see, this is the problem with people. And when I say people, I mean, I've been these people too. When they find out stuff, they want to make the people in the situation tell them why, and they need closure, and they need to understand, and all this and that. They can't let it go. They want to make that person suffer and all this and that. If they lied to you or betrayed you or let you down in the first place, you're most likely not going to get closure, because again, they're not thinking about telling you nothing, and it sure ain't nothing to talk about once they get found out, right? Right. So this is why that real work got to happen with you, regardless of what's going on with them. But the best way to prevent a huge fallout is to receive the information, acknowledge what you got to acknowledge, be honest with yourself, okay? And start the process of detachment, okay? You don't need to be engaging with the other person or the other entity, business, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to be talking back and forth. And if you end up in a legal situation, let your lawyers talk. You don't need to be having direct contact with the other party, because they will and they do have the audacity, even though they may have put you in a messed up position, they have the audacity to be pissed off because you're pissed off. And they will act a fool as much as you do. Don't start no stuff, won't be no stuff. Okay? So you're the one that's going to be in control of how bad things get, because you have to go first. And some of you, man, I mean, it gets messy. For some of you, because you may take the high road, because you may start the process of detachment and healing, and you may, own up to whatever your party was in it, because they're not expecting that kind of reaction, they will just automatically assume that you've been lying or doing something too, and that's the reason why you're not as upset as they want you to be or reactive as they want you to be. Let them think what they want to think. Don't start no stuff, won't be nothing. Okay? That I'm repeating that to you again. Nature, camping, isolation, taking breaks, literally, like if you're in a boxing ring and you go to the corner and they squirt water in your mouth and they patch you up, you're going to need some breaks in July. You're going to need to have some moments. You're going to need to have several seats, because it's literally going to be a lot of new information you did not have before, for the collective and for individuals coming in rapid succession, and you're going to need to take time to actually breathe. Okay? You're going to need to breathe. You're going to need some breaks in order to handle this. And now we get now we get to the good part. On top of all of that, on top of all the people problems, the money problems, the love problems, and the relationship issues that are triggered to be worked out. Okay, that's the purpose of this coming up to the surface. It needs to be worked out. You're either in or you're out. If only one person wants it, you're out. If both people decide they want to do the work after all the information is there for everybody to see, then you're in. But that decision, out or in, is definitely going to be forced to be made with this Venus retrograde. And y'all don't forget, Saturn's already retrograde. So Saturn is backing Venus up. It ain't a concept. This ain't no maybe or if we. You're not going to be able to maybe or we'll see or say, oh yeah, well, we can do this once I do this, this, and this. Everything's an emergency and everything need to be done now because it's been jacked up for too long. There is no putting anything off. There's no nothing. Everything is right here, right now. And now all the information is right there. What are you going to do? Right? On top of that, I don't know if y'all been feeling this for the last like 5 days. At a certain point of the day, I would get finessed. It's like somebody got a handful of baby powder and they blow it, and then all of a sudden you're in this bliss energy. That's been happening for the last like 5 days, and it happens at a certain point of the day. Not exactly at the same time every day, but there's always a point in the day where I get hit with this energy, and everything just kind of slows down. My cognition is delayed, and I'm just really present, right? Like, and just really like, whoa. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's not gonna stop. That's gonna continue to happen for those of you who are experiencing that. For those of you who went through the stage that I went through a couple of weeks ago, oh, I was sick as a dog. And I knew it was ascension because nobody around me got sick. And my body was hurting. Them body pains that make you feel like you jumped off a 10-story building and you just went splat on the sidewalk and all your bones is broken. Those kind of pains that make you feel like you're in a Wolverine movie. You know? Anyway, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just too dramatic. But look, there's going to be more bliss than discomfort coming for you physically. Okay, there's going to be a buffer. There's going to be that edge taken off. So you don't have to continue to think that you're going to get the worst ascension symptoms, you know. Y'all abilities are stronger. Y'all are having new experiences. You seeing dimensions bleeding through. You seeing all kind of stuff. Like, you know that movie, The Matrix, where you see the numbers going down? Well, for me, I'm seeing light language just in thin air. Just is light language everywhere. And I'm like, yo, what? But you're going to see some more stuff. You're going to have more paranormal experiences, more activity. And you're going to have your moments where you, how do I say this? You're going to have your moments where you ask yourself, dude, how am I going to deal with all of this drama, like people drama, right? And also deal with trying to maintain my reality. I call it reality maintenance. Nobody knows what you as the individual have to go through every day to maintain your reality, because I'm telling you right now, the the timeline bleed through, that awareness of other realities is starting to get very real, to where you have to maintain your memory of what everything looks like around you, because you can also see a whole nother reality um trying to come through, even though it's not 100% vivid. You're aware. So for instance, perfect example, my living room, I was chilling and I was seeing little shadows, and I kept thinking, oh, it's a bug. But no, finally I said, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna sit with this. I'm gonna really get into this, because I keep thinking there's a bug crawling across the blanket, and I'm like, it's not though, it's just like a shadow. And then when I sat there and I just stared at the blanket, I would see it. And then finally I started seeing, like heat vapors, like, energetic outlines of feet moving, like all the way up to about the knee. I was seeing people walking around. And I asked myself the question, I said, oh snap, am I at a park? Is that why I'm seeing bugs crawling and feet walking? I had to ask myself where I was, even though I was in my living room. And I was like, nah. And in that moment, I had to become cognizant and say, yo, this is your living room. We're going to maintain this reality. Yes, you're aware of this whole other reality happening right before your eyes, but you need to maintain this one. Okay? Because that one is not here now. You're not there. You're here. And you're getting a glimpse and awareness of that, but it's not all the way here, and you're not all the way there. So it's not relevant right now. You need to stay here. Your living room needs to stay your living room, So moments like that, you're going to be having those moments where you have to consciously choose your reality in that moment, even though you are experiencing and becoming aware of other realities, because you're not all the way there, and that reality is not all the way here. It can't do nothing for you. Okay? Your awareness is expanding. There's so much that we're having to ignore. We know more and we're seeing more, and then there's still the people who have no idea what's going on. We already knew stuff before, and we had a certain level of awareness before, but now it's really real. And you're seeing things and hearing things and knowing things on a level where it's starting to kind of make you uncomfortable, or kind of like subconscious. You don't want nobody to even see you when you're having these moments. You hoping nobody's seeing you while you're having your little silent freak out. Okay? Like, I know what you're going through. I'm here with you, man. We gonna be alright. You do need your team. I can tell y'all one thing. You're gonna need your person or your people in July, because the empathy is so strong right now, and it's too easy to feel other people's feelings, to feel other situations. Okay? So you're definitely gonna need a person or people. And then when you're feeling good, you be there for people as much as you can. I have this whole visualization of all the light workers and star seeds literally standing in this huge circle around the globe, holding hands, and that you're having to hold tight to each other because you're all you got, I don't know, man. There's a lot that I don't know. Let me tell y'all about this dream. It's been on my mind all day. Look. And I don't even remember the whole dream, but it was odd because Kamala Harris was in it. Okay? She was on the stage singing with like an Italian choir. I kid you not. And that's the part that I remember. She was on stage singing with an Italian choir, specifically Italian, okay? And I'm thinking to myself when I wake up, I'm like, yo, she was singing. Is she about to say something? When somebody sings, like, because you got to figure out the symbolism to all of this. And I'm like, Kamala Harris is singing. If I just look at that sentence, and I'm like, is she about to sing like a bird? Is she about to let the cat out of the bag? Is she about to say some stuff that we didn't know? She about to drop a dime? Okay, so I don't know if anybody else has been seeing any synchronicities connected to her, but that happened. So yeah, just let me know about that whole situation, because she ain't never been in my dreams before. So that was an intrusion right there. Anyway, I think that I've told y'all everything that I have to tell y'all about July. Venus rules love and money. Budget. The more information you have about what you want to do and how to do it, the better off you're going to be. Venus is about pleasure, right? And on an extreme axis, it can be overindulgence in love and money. Don't get caught up. If whatever you're trying to do, the means doesn't justify the end, accept your consequences, okay? If you're in a situationship or whatever situation where you got to even question what's going on, or you got to look over your back and you just lacking integrity with the situation, and you're not free to enjoy that situation, then just accept the consequences. Okay? Because what you gonna do? Venus will make you want to do some very indulgent things. And all I can tell you is, the more information that you gather, and have a strategy, the better off you're gonna be. Sometimes you can't help it when somebody lies to you, and then you got to find out later, because Venus retrograde, you may meet a new person, but don't get all serious with them until you see what they're like after Venus retrograde. All right, you can date and all that, but again, plan your moves accordingly, because you're more likely to attract somebody who is keeping information from you. And with Saturn retrograde and Venus retrograde together, your 5th grade crush might show up in your life, because that's how far back it go. I'm just saying. Just look out for that. Take your time. Have fun. Be detached. Gather information. Have a strategy. You will be okay. You will be just fine. Mind your business. That means have your stuff together. Don't be worried about other people. Don't be worried about what you can get from other people and all this and that. And if you're creating partnerships during a Venus retrograde, you better draw up some contracts and be very clear about what you want done. You better have some personal knowledge about what you want done, even though you're hiring somebody else to do it. Okay? I'm just saying. I hope this video helped you guys. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Josie. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. Check out my Instagram at 50 Essentials LLC. And check out my Linktree as well. The link is in the description of this video, and it's also in the bio of my Instagram. Have a beautiful evening, loves.